What is up and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be answering your burning questions about vectors and what are vectors and why do they matter and who cares and why is my developer asking me for one. So you may be a designer, and if you are, I'm going to be introducing you some very important design concepts that you hopefully are already aware of, but if you're clicking this video, maybe not. Or you could be a client. Maybe you have a business and you have a logo and you're trying to use it for your new website or for a business card, and whoever's working with you is asking you for a vector logo or a scalable logo, and you have no idea what that means. I'm here to explain it to you. So let's jump in. Here I am in Adobe Illustrator. This is a program that uses vector illustration. So that's your first hint that I'm going to show you how these things all work together. This program uses vector illustration. And so we have this illustration of a shoe that I spent way too long creating today. And then I'm going to show you it as well. Same image in Photoshop. So at first, we don't really see any difference, right? They look exactly the same, but I'm going to show you something important. I'm here in Photoshop, which is a raster type program. So there's vector and raster. Those are the two I want you to keep in mind. So here, if I zoom in to this little spot, what happens? All of a sudden, my image is really pixelated. So raster programs, which are most of the files that you're familiar with, if you take a picture on your phone or you have a JPEG, those are all raster files, which means that they're limited in how big they can go, or perhaps they're limited in how you can scale them. So they're not scalable files or vector files. So the reason is because this program is using pixels. So as I zoom in, or rather if I were to try to blow this image up real big and put it on a billboard or something, it would be very pixelated. It wouldn't look good. But the same cannot be said for a vector illustration. So if I go back into Illustrator, the same image, and I zoom into the same spot, you'll notice that I've lost no clarity. All the lines are still super sharp and it looks super good. And the reason is because in a vector program where a raster image uses pixels to show the image, a vector program uses lines and shapes. So actually, if I come back here and I click a shortcut in Illustrator, this shows me my image just with lines. And so I have these different lines that create the image, and I could click onto one and there are these little points called anchor points that I can drag around. And I can show you what it's doing here. It's moving these lines around and adjusting things as we go. It's super easy to edit. Another thing I could do is maybe I wanted to take this section that's green and turn it red. And I can do that very easily. And so this is one of the benefits of using a vector program and having a vector logo. So if you have a developer or someone asking you for a vector logo, the reason is if you want to put your logo on a billboard, but all you have is a really small JPEG, whenever they try to scale it up, it's going to look really bad. So the question that you're probably thinking is, okay, what if I don't have a vector logo? How do I get one? Well, unfortunately, there's no magic way to just transform a raster image like a JPEG or a PNG into a vector image. Technically, there is a way in Illustrator, but it's not very reliable and it won't look good in general. So what you'll really have to do is have a developer or a designer, someone recreate this logo for you, which is no fun. So if you do have someone who made your logo a while back, hopefully they have a version that they can give you, and hopefully they won't charge you for it because that's just ridiculous. But if you don't have one of those files, you're going to need to get one. It's extremely important to have for your company, and that way that you can have your logo. It's the most versatile file type that you can have. So anytime you're in need, or anytime someone needs to print a shirt or billboard or anything, you're going to have exactly what you need to send them. So that's kind of it as far as vector and raster and explaining what a vector file is. Before we go, I'm going to give you a real quick cheat sheet. This will explain a little bit of vector file types that are pretty common and then raster file types so you can understand what you're looking at. So a few important ones. For vector, typically you have an EPS, an AI file, an SVG, and even sometimes PDFs can also be vector. For rasters, that's most common images that you're more familiar with, a JPEG, a PNG, a TIFF file, if you've used TIFFs before, or a Photoshop file. Those are all going to be raster images. So if you're sorting through your different logo files and you don't know what's what, use that cheat sheet and it'll hopefully help you figure out which is which and which ones to give to whoever is asking for a vector logo from you. Hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's helped you learn a little bit. If you don't know anything about these things and people are asking you, I wouldn't expect you to know. And so I'm glad that I can maybe educate you. And now you'll be able to come back to your developer or designer and really sound like you know your stuff. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Feel free to like and subscribe or leave a comment if you learned something today and you want to say, hey, thanks, this is so helpful. I'd love to know that. So my name is Gabe. This is my channel. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that jazz. But I hope you've learned something today, and I hope that you have a great day.